Greetings, fellow patriots. Team #Stark here.
And team #Cap.
And we're here to hype up Captain America Civil War, which is coming out tomorrow. But BlueDragonFive, how you doing? Apparently, this is kind of the first sticking point I want to talk about. We're gonna, this is a podcast that's gonna be totally positive. We're really jacked for this movie. I mean, BlueDragonFive, you love the hell out of Winter Soldier, so I'm sure you're more excited about it than I am. But
oh yeah.
But we're all positive here. We're all here to kind of celebrate Captain America, celebrate Iron Man, kind of talk about their dueling ideologies, talk about how the team breaks down, who would win in a fight, all that good stuff. But first, BlueDragonFive, it seems like you and me are literally like the only two people on the internet that have not seen this movie yet.
Yeah.
Like, this movie, I checked, and it's like, there's cams of it out there. Like, it's out there, man. It is on the internet. It is leaked. I am sure if you go to like any message board, there's going to be spoilers all over it. It's kind of ridiculous. I almost kind of feel like at this point, the air has kind of already been let out of the balloon a little bit in terms of like, yeah, all the major critics already said the movie's awesome. We already know the movie's awesome. I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like, I'm glad. On one hand, I'm glad that I've kind of like got the genuine fan experience of waiting all this time, and now tomorrow I will be seeing it. But it's a sticking point. It's a sticking point. And BlueDragonFive, I can't actually take credit for this line. This is actually Space Mountain's line, but it's Captain America, not Captain Europe. I mean, come on. So credit to Space for coming up with that line. He posted that on WDW Magic. But also speaking of WDW Magic, BlueDragonFive, another thing we should be plugging, because we kind of neglected to do that in the last two Batman things we did.
No, we did it for one of them, didn't we?
We did it for the first part, which I guess is the most important because that's the one that most people are going to watch.
I think we did it for the last one too. We kind of sandwiched it, I think.
Okay. But I actually kind of wanted to talk about hotchocolatemedia.net as a whole, BlueDragonFive. And Jacob Gulliver didn't even ask me to do this. I'm doing this kind of on my own cuff because I really like what these guys are doing. They've got two flagship podcasts right now. The Movie Machine, of course, and shit, there's another podcast that I'm going to talk about.
Well, someone's prepared today.
I know, right? I'll talk about the Movie Machine first. So the Movie Machine podcast, folks. It is an awesome podcast. They're kind of deep into it at this point. They've been doing it for a while. It's a well-oiled machine. Got kind of a rotating lineup of guests. It's essentially an improv show where they take the role of a producer, a writer, a director, and they all kind of try and come up with these bizarre, really off the cusp, random ideas for films, and it goes any which way. It goes like, it's kind of crazy how much creativity they put into it. They can have Tim Curry and like really serious, dramatic
It goes more directions than a Wonkavator, folks.
Exactly. And the other podcast that I wanted to talk about that Gulliver actually didn't even ask me to talk about, but I want to talk about it anyways because I think it's
another
really
podcast.
Cool.
Tell us about it, Tiki.
They do have another podcast. They just started up a couple weeks ago. It's called Campaign Comedy. And basically the description is it's a Lovecraftian adventure RPG podcast featuring Minnesota's finest comedians. The gist I get about this BlueDragonFive is it's essentially like they're playing essentially a Dungeons and Dragons campaign or an RPG, and they're playing it and they're kind of putting the most random, bizarre elements into it that they possibly can. They're kind of like coming up with really funny scenarios for RPGs. So if you're into RPGs, I like it as a fan of Spoonie. I like Spoonie's I like his Counter Monkey series, where Spoonie talks about his RPG gaming days. So I really appreciate the idea of this podcast. So I just want to give it a little love. Campaign Comedy, the Movie Machine, hotchocolatemedia.net, lots of awesome stuff. Moving on, BlueDragonFive. So it's Captain America, not Captain Europe. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so believe me, it bugs the crap out of me, and I believe it was like maybe it was like towards the end of April when it got released over. Well, it got released specifically got released in Dolby theaters. That's how almost everyone has been able to see it at this point because
Wait. So it's been out like to the general public in select theaters?
Yes, in specific Dolby theaters. That's the
Okay,
thing.
so that's how Stuckman's dad got to see it.
Yes, that's how. That's the thing. So
Okay.
it's not just overseas, Steve. No, that's still a problem though. Yeah, some people get to see it before others. I'm sure that would probably happen with this movie anyway. But my point is, the Dolby thing is what I did hear that was what bugged the crap out of me because I want to say it was like tail end of April, like 2 weeks before the end of April. It was like the 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
When it came out, that's when Captain Logan got around to talking about it and everything, which again is like pains me. I can't watch it yet, darn it.
Exactly. Right.
And again, it bothers me so much because again, I'm so geared out of my mind. Basically, Dolby Theater is not exactly locum. Plus, it just kind of defeats the purpose of it's not the actual like, kind of open to everyone. It's kind of cheating.
I actually have a really good comparison for this. I'm not sure if you'll go for it, but another thing that bugs the crap out of me is when the Super Bowl like posts all the good commercials on YouTube before the Super Bowl even airs. I'm like, well, thanks. You just took away the one reason I'm actually going to watch the fucking Super Bowl. I mean, granted, of course, I'm still going to watch Civil War, but I don't know. Like I said, I kind of feel like the air's been let out of the balloon just a little bit. Like, it's still like a very thick, very, very prosperous balloon, but there's just a tiny little pinprick in it.
I mean, look, I think it's two different things completely. Because again, I could care less about the football game going on because again, it's just more time we're waiting until the actual cool trailer.
I could care less about the football game too, but I miss the days when you would kind of like, all right, I don't know, maybe this is just me. I legitimately miss being bored sitting around the Super Bowl. Like, when are the commercials going to get there? When are the commercials going to get there?
So you miss boredom.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah, fair point.
Anyway, so let me say this. Let me share something with you. I'm not sure if this is precisely the Adobe theories, but Kevin Smith mentioned on Hollywood Babylon recently. So if you watch Babylon Batman now, I guess some sort of weird thing where with the editing, so you're at a point right now, the most recent episode, he hasn't seen it yet. Yet I think there's one where they discuss Civil War, but it's from Mark Bernardin, who has seen it because he writes articles and I guess he does reviews also. So he's seen it. So I guess it's just him talking with Kevin and not giving away everything. Perhaps I still haven't watched it. Regardless, Kevin Smith on How Babylon he has seen it, and again he didn't spoil anything on there, but he did mention his viewing experience sounds amazing. I'm not sure if this is the benefit of Dolby theaters, but I will say definitely adds to definitely seeing it early with the Dolby theaters. Again, I'm not crazy about seeing early, but again, if this is actually the theatrical experience that the Dolby theaters provide for you, then it sounds amazing. That it's a 4D experience. You do this basically. Kevin Smith saw it in a 4D theater, which it's not just moving like the Shrek ride or anything, but it does kind of build the atmosphere around.
Yeah, my local theater has D-Box, so
is that was D-Box the fourth?
D-Box is the moving seats.
Okay.
I've never done it myself because it's literally a $15 upcharge just for the D-Box on top of the movie ticket price, and fuck that noise. But
regardless, I'm not sure if it's specifically the D-Box or if it's just it's again it's a 4D experience. It's I'm not sure if the things completely move or what, but basically Kevin Smith, the way he describes ice will, because there's a scene in this. All I know, and the only thing it's not even a spoiler, there is a scene set in snow. That's all we know.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So the point is there would be kind of a ace again to get to high quality theater probably because there is some sort of snow pumping in the theater.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow! Oh,
I'm saying
really?
It's some sort of viewing experience. I'm going to assume it's not.
Oh yeah, definitely beyond D-Box.
So I'm going to guess it's not Dolby or the D-Box in that case. And the point is you'll actually kind of
my movie theater does not have snow. I can attest to that.
The point is whether it's actual snow or just kind of a snow like substance. Most likely snow.
Of course.
Regardless, the point is you'll build an atmosphere. It'll build an atmosphere within the thing, but it won't kind of jostle you around during the action sequence, or else people could probably die. In the case of a Russo brothers film.
And that's exactly what D-Box does, apparently. It just jostles you around. That's what every review I've heard of it says. It's not even really synced to the action. It just jostles you around.
Yeah, but regardless, though, it sounds like an amazing experience he had watching the films. I'm not saying that's the Dolby thing. I'm just saying it seems like he's reading it it's out earlier in Dolby Theater. It's like, oh my, it's because it's a little brand thing. They released it early, and it's like an unavailable limited release thing.
Yeah, it really annoys the crap out of me. And like I said, I just kind of feel like the hype is just I feel the hype, okay? Like I'm on WDW Magic, and they're pumped out of their minds for it. Like they're, you know, WDW Magic, the Imagineering community, they can't wait for this movie. So, you know, to be fair, I'm exaggerating a little bit when I say we're the only two people on the internet that haven't.
Yeah, because again, bear in mind just your general public haven't really seen this unless they're close to a Dolby theater, I suppose.
Yeah, I understand all that, but like I said, it's just like in the geek community, it's almost kind of like, you know, there's this divide. There's the people that have seen it, and there's the people that haven't seen it. It's its own little civil war going on.
Yeah, but I tell you, I'm so excited to see it again. I think we're all still. I love that we know if you played your cards right, you don't know anything. I think we're still safely in that camp so far. We don't know anything.
Well,
I think if you played your cards right, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah.
I kind of feel like just I've been able to kind of decipher every single little monetary thing that Spider-Man's going to do in this movie just based on what I've heard. But
here's all I can say, though. I can say that I just love that we're in position. At least I can't speak for you or anyone else, but I'm in a position where.
I mean, look, all I've done is watch non-spoiler reviews, so it's not like I'm intentionally.
That's the thing. I haven't seen any of those. No non-spoiler reviews. Nothing.
Okay. Okay.
So here's all I do know, though. Going into this movie, aside from that, what we've seen in the trailers, just gleaming because I've read the book before, Civil War the comic. So just gleaming that and just kind of predicting some stuff. Here's all I know going in is it's hyping me up very much. So is that. The film is getting fantastic reviews. It's like in a 95% or something. And it makes me just on the edge of my seat curious and hyped up because I'm wondering, you have a story where you have two very iconic, very beloved Marvel heroes supported by other Marvel heroes, which we're going to isolate in a moment here. We're going to go through those guys. And yet there's no murmurs or anything of like a resounding like people in an upset. So they must have found some perfect way to end this movie. And again, this is a story that in the comics, I expressed in the comics, we haven't seen the movie. In the comics, didn't precisely end with this, but the next story directly linked to this. I mean, there was a direct result of the end of Civil War, ended in Captain America getting killed.
Right.
So again, I have to wonder. You think if that happens, you're being upset, but again, I'm in a position where you don't know how they ended. I'm just on the edge of my seat wondering how the heck are they going to end this movie?
I mean, I hope to God it's not like a repeat of Batman versus Superman where he dies, but that's like, oh no, the fucking grave's shaking. Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Yeah, apparently.
Dumpster pile.
Imagine this though. Even if they did do that, somehow they did it right because it's getting great reviews. Right. So I'm just so curious. Like, oh my God, how did they end this without any like resounding like or dislike or like so one side. You're not hearing any of that at this point.
And I am exaggerating when I say that I know every little thing that Spider-Man's going to do. I don't. I just generally know he's going to be awesome. And that is the thing I'm most excited about. I'm not going to lie. It's like I'm and that's the thing. It's like if people are just kind of like, yeah, Spider-Man was good. But no, people are just like, this is the best Spider-Man that we have ever seen. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what could, like, I think we're going to get like a Quicksilver and Days of Future Past kind of scene with Spider-Man or something like that. Something where he's like the center of the tension. He just kind of just blows the house down. I don't know. I'm really excited for Spider-Man.
I'm saying that I think they're going to sell us on again, maybe not him in the costume, but they're really going to sell us on Tony Stark and Peter Parker having a really good relationship. And I'm looking forward to that.
Of course, and that's going to lead right into Homecoming, so that's exciting.
Absolutely. Anyway, so that aside, point is
title Spider-Man Homecoming. By the way, I think that's so clever. Anyway,
it is, and again, we found that basically Marvel is in the ultimate loophole where again they're doing a large majority of the legwork. So pretty much they're doing Spider-Man movies now with Sony's distributor. Essentially, that's what they're doing.
Right.
Which is really cool.
And
it's a way you get a crossover of the Marvel heroes, Iron Man, showing up in Sony movies.
yeah.
And again, don't get me wrong, Sony's like only owns one character really. They own Spider-Man and all associated with Spider-Man. So again, Marvel, a lot of ball in Marvel's court here, which is excellent. Anyway, so let's get into the main topic. So
now, if they could just get Silver Surfer,
well, if they could just get Fantastic Four. Well, let's say that
in general. Yeah,
I have big speculation. But I want to save it for after I see.
I wouldn't even want them to get X-Men because I think if they got X-Men, no. That just muddy the field too much. I think that's too much at that point.
Let's save that. Let's save that talk for after we see the movie.
Okay.
This is for the future going forward. Let's see how good they do with Spider-Man, which sounds like they're going to do great with it. But anyway, So, main topic at hand.
Yes.
So I believe there's a war going on.
A little bit, a civil war, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, a war that's a little bit civil, but it's still a war. So
Yeah. You know, they might sit down for some tea time, but, you know, there's still a war.
I'm sorry, that was like the worst description of a civil war ever. I just kind of want to highlight that. That was the most redundant statement. A war that's civil, but it's also a war, so kind of. Like, wow, that's like one of the most redundant things I've ever said. Anyways.
Let's just say it's a war stemming from politics. It's
right.
I think it's a better description. It's not the best, but, you know, it's just kind of a general, like, you know, they have a disagreement, they're really close to each other, and they fight each other. Yeah, it's about Anyway, so how would like to proceed here? So again, we've kind of hyped up the discrepancy among the theaters. So, you know, let's kind of highlight our side. So, folks, oddly enough, and appropriately enough, again, we didn't anticipate this, but it just worked out wonderfully. The sides that we're on are actually the sides that we're on here. That Tiki and I are going to be kind of highlighting our contenders here.
Oh yeah.
So I am. Would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Are we going to do the whole in this corner thing?
Yes, that was the plan.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know. Okay. In this corner, Haley in 2008, coming out, transitioning from a billionaire playboy to a new brand of superhero. One of the first superheroes we've seen who's actually kind of in the public eye. We have Iron Man. I can already tell I'm going to be really bad at this Blue Dragon 5. Oh God, I give me a break. I'm nearing finals. So Iron Man, he stopped. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm awful. He stopped his mentor turned arch nemesis Obadiah Stane, and then he fought Whiplash isn't really the worst MCU villain. I was going to say Whiplash was the worst MCU villain. He's really not.
Yeah, Malekith's the worst MCU villain.
Right. He fought a mediocre MCU villain that nobody really cares to remember. And then his third movie was awesome. And he fought the Mandarin, but he wasn't actually the Mandarin, so it's kind of, yeah. I'm sorry, I am butchering the fuck out of this.
Note to self, next time I'll write the intro and hand it to you.
Okay, good, because, yeah. Anyways, point being, Iron Man, you know, he's a billionaire playboy, got his ideologies in check. You would think that it's like, you would fucking think that Captain America would be on the government side, but no, Iron Man's on the government side, and that's, yeah. I got nothing. All right,
let me school you on this. This is how it's supposed to be done, kid.
Go ahead. You're already totally winning this fight, so go ahead.
All right, folks. So,
I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed.
So, Team Cap, give me the line. Give me the line.
And in this corner.
In 1942, a brave patriot named Steve Rogers volunteered for the Strategic Scientific Reserve's Super Soldier Program. There, Dr. Ernst Klein and Howard Stark created Captain America, who, alongside his best friend Bucky Barnes, the love of his life, Agent Peggy Carter, and the elite Howling Commandos, faced the Nazis' rogue science division, Hydra, led by the Red Skull, aided by Swiss scientist Armin Zola. After losing Bucky, Cap foils Red Skull's master plan, resulting in but in doing so, Rogers ends up frozen in time. Until 70 years later, when he was stalled by S.H.I.E.L.D., he joined forces with other heroes to save New York from a Chitauri invasion led by the God of Mischief. After becoming an Avenger, Rogers adapted to the modern day, befriending Sam Wilson as he contemplates his place in the present. Cap, with the help of the Black Widow, also confronts the revelation that Hydra has returned in the form of S.H.I.E.L.D., and the return of Bucky Barnes, now known as the Winter Soldier. Cap ends both Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D.'s activities as he reaches out to his lost friend. Rogers reunited with the Avengers, as they battled Tony Stark's creation, Ultron, foiling the robot's attempts to wipe out the human race. In the aftermath, leaving he and Black Widow to assemble the new Avengers. All the while, the war hero continues his search for his brainwashed friend.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot better than I could do, but you had the benefit of having time to write yours down. So I'm going to go ahead and just use college as an excuse for my lousy intro. I'm sorry. I feel really bad. I feel like I've let Tony down.
Well, I did warn you. Give me a good intro. Just give me a good hype up your guy.
I know, you warned me. I know.
Regardless, so that's what we're dealing with, folks. So we had, Captain America, the original soldier, versus Iron Man, billionaire industrials who has various films of progress on his side. He's learned, he's evolved, he is allied technology, he has advanced to the pinnacle, and that's where we're kind of leaving these guys. So basically, they've evolved over all these films. They've teamed up on various occasions, and they have faced just some of the worst threats you can imagine. They've come out victorious. But you know what? Some tension's been building over time, and all that tension's been building to a civil war.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So let's describe what the Civil War is about, Tiki.
Okay. So you're asking me?
Okay, I'll start us off then. So here's what we know going into the Civil War. We know from the ending of Ant-Man, which is also in the trailers for Civil War, Cap and Falcon have found Bucky, who, at least at that point in the film, is back to his old self, which is good. Hooray, Bucky. Bucky, is it you? This is your mom. You stuffed newspapers in your shoe, and your mother's name was Sarah, not Martha.
Don't. No, you're just fucking just baiting me at that point. Just move on. I'm sorry.
All right. So again, Bucky's back to his old self, but after causing a lot of damage, we're getting a sense of, and I'm getting a sense the movie's not going to start with finding Bucky back to his old self. I'm thinking he's still going to be doing a lot of bad stuff, which is not cool.
Right. That's kind of how I think it's going to go. Yeah.
Now, all of that damage, he's wreaking havoc, and we could speculate and some stuff, some rumors going around here, but we're not going to do that for this. We're going to say that, on top of all that damage, on top of the Avengers' collateral damage from their movies, this doesn't reflect too well in the superhero community.
Mm-hmm.
So Tony
and then all that madness that's been going on over at Metropolis too. I mean, fuck, that city got leveled like 3 times.
All right. So Tony and so basically here's where the actual war is stemming from, folks. So again, Bucky's back, but a lot of damage has been caused in the Avengers in the meantime. There's a lot of damage in the Avengers universe here. So Tony and his half of the team on this issue, so Bucky's back to normal. Should we, I'm not saying let's make him Avenger, but should we not turn him in? Should we just, should we accept that? Basically, here the argument is stemming from. Tony agrees that the government needs to oversee them, and Bucky should be held responsible for his actions. Again, being held accountable, which Tony Stark, after all the stuff in the Avengers movies, is more than, oh yeah, we definitely need to be held accountable. I mean, create an evil a murder bot, essentially. We create a murder bot, and that's not good. And yeah, we do definitely need to be held accountable. Hence the Sokovia Accords, because Sokovia was almost the end of the world. Cap, on the other hand, views it as quite the opposite. No, we can't have the government overseeing us. And importantly, again, we don't know how against that Cap's going to be. We'll see. But I'm just kind of going off what we've seen in the trailers on that one. But what we do absolutely know is a definite reason for the split in the team is that Cap absolutely believes Bucky was mind controlled. We shouldn't hold him responsible.
Of course.
So I guess now, Tiki, save yourself here. Come on, let's. What's your defensive? Now we're kind of going to debate our points of our heroes. We're going to show our support and kind of what our. A lot of us just kind of reading into what we think Captain America and Iron Man stances are going to be on these issues. So, why do you think Tony's right?
Well, first of all, I want to point out that my whole being on Team Stark isn't just about the ideology. It's also just that I find him to be a more entertaining character, and generally, I kind of like his movies a little better. I'm one of the rare people that would probably put Iron Man 3 above Winter Soldier. So I know that's like fucking sacrilege for most people, but I don't know. What can I say? I love Iron Man 3. I think Iron Man 3 was my favorite MCU movie before Guardians of the Galaxy came out. So I really do think that Tony Stark's had he's an iconic character. I think with Steve Rogers, and granted, I'll get into the ideology a little bit later, but I think with Steve Rogers, it's kind of more like his movies are really good, but he himself as a character is not necessarily the most well fleshed out. I mean, I'm not saying he's not the most well fleshed out. I'm saying he's the Boy Scout. That's cool. That's what Captain America's always been. And BlueDragonFive, I actually think it makes sense that you're on Team Cap and I'm on Team Stark because, you're always kind of like the guy who's trying to steer the conversation in the right direction, and you never swear on the podcast. And meanwhile, I swear like a sailor and I'm kind of going off on tangents and, making Dark Knight Rises references. I'm sorry, what?
No, it's nothing. Go on.
Okay. So you know what I mean? I do think that it's kind of like, I do think that Tony Stark's personality more fits me and Steve Rogers' personality more fits you. But back to the ideology, though. Back to the ideology. It's a major fucking problem. Not
language.
Just with the... What?
Language.
Is that what you were saying before?
Yes.
Okay, so now apparently we have Cap in the room. So.
Well, you started it.
So it's a major problem, not just with the MCU, but with superhero movies in general, this whole mass destruction thing. It's getting out of hand. And while I might not necessarily agree with Tony Stark about incriminating Bucky, I will agree with you on that. I think with Bucky, it's a gray area, and I think the film means it to be a gray area. I think that's the whole point of the film, it's that it's a gray area. But I am saying that I am very much on Tony Stark's side when it comes to, there needs to be some there needs to be some logic, some rhyme and reason to what they're doing, because basically right now they can do whatever the fuck they want and there's no consequences for them. And you raised a good point. Like, we have Ultron almost causing into the world. Why? Because Tony Stark felt like playing Science Bros with Bruce Banner. You know what I mean?
Science Bros.
By the way, I totally should have worked that into my intro, that he formed the most awesome bromance of all time with Bruce Banner. But
green and red, the colors of awesome Christmas.
But I don't know. I really do think that with superhero movies in general, this whole mass destruction is getting out of hand. I do think that superheroes should be held accountable for that kind of shit. I think that they basically destroyed Superman Superman is kind of dead to me in these new fucking movies with he's just absolutely careless and kind of a monster.
No, remember, he gets brought up on those charges, but then Granny's PhD kind of throws everything in the mix.
God. I don't know, man. My whole thing is that I am very much kind of like, I don't necessarily think that the government should be like, hey, you have to do this, this, and this, and this. But I do think there should be some kind of mandated thing. I think that going forward, especially considering that S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of disbanded and now there is now Captain America and his group of Avengers basically is S.H.I.E.L.D., it doesn't sit right for me. It doesn't necessarily sit right. I would be worried if I was in the MCU, and especially after the events of Age of Ultron. And that's what we have to keep in mind. The events of Age of Ultron, before that, people loved superheroes. I mean, granted, I haven't watched, any of the TV. I haven't watched fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I don't know what the general public's opinion is on that. But, before that, in general, based on what we've seen in the movies and from stuff like Daredevil, in general, people kind of like the superhero thing. I think Ultron changed all that. I think Ultron was basically like the Battle of Metropolis in the DC universe, it was the moment where it's like, okay, we need to kind of sit back. We need to take check on what we're doing because people are dying. People are dying. And a whole city could have been destroyed because of us, because of what we caused. So when it comes, like I said, Bucky himself is a gray area. I very much think that Bucky being a gray area is the point of the movie. I think that's going to be a driving point of the action. So I'm not even going to try and fight for Bucky. But I will argue for, I absolutely do think that the government should be involved in some way, shape, or form with the Avengers. Okay, that's about all I got. Did I do good? Did Tiki do good?
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
So here is just kind of my read on kind of Cap's side, and also kind of my I guess my arguments for like why Cap's right, just kind of mixed in there. I mean, I agree with
Is
most
this
of
like a
these.
movie fight right now? Do we need God, what's his name? Do we need shit, I'm blanking on his name. Who's the guy? The movie fights guy, the host.
I'm new to movie fights. I
I'm
don't
totally
know.
blanking on Andy Signore. We need Andy Signore in here to moderate us and be like, "Ah, oh, man, this is tough, guys." Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, so here's just kind of my kind of read on Cap's. I just kind of my defense of like why Cap's right in this. It's like,
Okay.
man, here's I think with Cap's response is just kind of the Civil War. It's that one again. I know you say you're not really contesting the Bucky thing. Well, you just bring it up.
I'm not. And like I said, I think the gray area with Bucky is the whole point of the movie. So I'm really not going to get into
I
that.
know. Just let me just address just to kind of put like this market on Cap's side. Just yet another thing. It's just Bucky's not.
Basically, I'm surrendering the Bucky point. I'm going to admit it. I'm kind of surrendering the Bucky point a little bit.
I say I want to address it anyways. Like this is definitely why Cap's on his side. I mean, he knows it's absolutely, and this is why I believe the rest of the Avengers are, his half of the Avengers are on Cap's side without question. Is that Bucky wasn't responsible because he was mind controlled by Hydra for years. He was tortured by being frozen and unfrozen constantly. I mean, his arm was
Frozen
cut off.
multiple days, not just today, but multiple days.
Yes, and his arm cut off. He was brainwashed, and we saw what he went through in Winter Soldier. He's been like all the shock treatment, all the torture. I mean, Bucky's been through a lot. And again, it's not any of his fault. I mean, they wiped him clean. We saw directly he is not in control of any of his actions there. And the good-hearted Bucky Barnes is fighting through that mind control all throughout that movie once he sees Steve again. So we know the good Bucky Barnes is still inside. I'm going to piggyback on that a little bit later on. Point is, here's Cap's other in terms of the whole registering with the government. So I think Cap definitely, in Winter Soldier, he definitely learned that putting your full trust. I mean, old school Captain America back in the 40s, and we saw this in Avengers, is all for like, let's trust, we trust our government sponsors, we trust Shield and the Avengers, we trust the SSR, no questions there. We put faith in our country, but he's realized at this point after Winter Soldier with the whole Shield Hydra revelation, putting your full trust in institutions like that, like Steve did in the past, could lead to Hydra and could give Hydra the upper hand or other institutions. The point is, it's kind of basically giving someone all the power and giving them all the say so is not a good idea.
Yeah, so they're giving Captain America all the power and all the say so.
Well, no, it's not. It's not just Cap. It's just the whole Avengers team. And again, it's what they're saying is register the government.
They're giving a very, very, very select group of people that could potentially kill everyone all the power. Great. I'm so comforted right now.
Can I finish my point?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My point is like full total government control, which is what Tony's championing. By the way, Tony's championing full government control there. Is what Steve is completely against there is that look, we can't just give them all the power because one, we don't know if it's completely clean organization there because we've seen how deep Hydra is laid in the Shield, which is just a little bit of ambiguity up there. But two, I mean, there might be also another level up there of like, look, the government being government control may limit how effective the Avengers can be because we might not be able to help people because of political conflicts. I mean, if we were kind of individuals on our own there, we might be able to kind of just help people without worrying about kind of those things.
Sure.
Again, what if they can't go into Wakanda? Don't get me wrong, not bringing up that whole thing from Age of Ultron because we know that was bad and that was that was Hulk going nuts. Not of his own, but again, that was just because Scarlet Witch, but that was all Ultron. Yeah, we're circling back to Tony.
Yeah.
Point is, there are limits to what they can do if they are government controlled and if they are just kind of essentially, told you're going to register and you're going to do what we say. That's essentially what that is. Cap saying, well, no, we can't. We can't do that. Also, just want to point out that here's how I'm going to reach some middle ground here. I think Cap might be going for in this movie. I think, at least I think a solution for everyone's thing coming from Cap's side here is that I think all of these threats, all the things that have threatened the world, all of the things that are making our heroes look bad, and the reason for this whole registration act. Think about it; it's all vendettas stemming from the heroes specifically and their actions that have led to the Accords. But I think Bucky in all of this is innocent. He was not one of those cases.
Hmm.
You know, I'm thinking Thor. Thor's off-world at the moment, so again, Thor not really a threat, and they can maybe work something out with him again.
Thor and Bruce Banner are off singing like Bing Crosby songs and having a road trip.
I mean, think about it. So, I mean, Thor brought the Tesseract, and Thor's the Tesseract. Again, that wasn't of his. That wasn't really of his fault either. The Tesseract fell into Earth years and years ago with the Red Skull. So again, that's
Right.
not even Thor's problem. Just Thor was there to help clean up that mess. Let's see. I mean, there's that again. Tony Stark is really kind of the lead of the Ultron problem. He got a little antsy with the Infinity Gem.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Just one second. So again, I think if the heroes if they're not control of what they can do, but if they just kind of have an agreement of them keeping their vendettas on their own turf and keeping them, not if they're not creating their own demons like Tony Stark has done. If they act responsibly, they can have their control.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm saying like a government liaison isn't a bad idea, but again, if it's like kind of full control, that's definitely a bad idea.
And that's the thing. I mean, I really do think that this whole movie is going to be like trying to find the middle ground and how hard it is to find the middle ground.
Yes.
And I honestly do think, I mean, let's be honest here. We're here to, do the hashtag Team Stark, hashtag Team Cap thing. I mean, it's fun to debate and everything, but that's marketing. I really do think when we sit down and watch the movie, the whole point of the movie is that we're going to be torn. We're going to be on both people's sides. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
That's the way it should be done. The comic it was much more one-sided, which was not good.
No, it wasn't.
But again, seriously, I do think Cap definitely has a point because he's seeing is kind of like, again, putting your faith all in one thing is not a good idea. And again, what the main issue of the movie is going to be is that it's placing all the blame on someone who doesn't deserve it, which would be Bucky. Again, no, you're wrong. Bucky has done bad things, but again, not his fault. I mean, look, we saw, and this is important. Last point I'll make on Bucky here. Again, not that I need to make it, but it said Bucky saved Steve at the end of Winter Soldier, which shows you that change is definitely possible. Again, he can fight through that program, and that Bucky Barnes is still in there, which is instant proof that he is. You can trust him. But again, an issue of the government is that they don't really kind of look to trust that easily. They don't really. You have to go through a whole thing, and that trust is never fully restored. Leave it to kind of a few people who have been through the experience. And look at the Avengers. The Avengers they're the only force on the planet that can actually save these people from all of these threats. And they're not bringing all the threats there. The Chitauri are just by the way. And again, the Tesseract has been on Earth for God knows how many years. Until the Avengers came by, did they really know about it? Not really.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying again. It's like think about it, the Red Skull used that thing, and it wasn't there because of Captain America specifically. I'm just saying like the Avengers we've seen in the first Avengers movie they were just kind of like at the end of it was like everyone says, oh my god, we love the Avengers, they're needed, and we need these guys.
Yeah.
You see kind of what I'm saying here. I was just saying that it's like. I think if you're going to trust that power to anyone, these guys would be the ones. And again, Tony Stark shows you right there and then that he is someone who is he called himself on these things. And I think again, don't get me wrong, he needs someone like Captain America to say, no, Tony, don't do this. And basically, if Tony Stark listens to Captain America, then you avoid all these problems.
Just like James Gordon would have avoided the whole problem if he would have just let Penguin kill Caliban.
Why do you have to?
I'm sorry. That is like the biggest plot hole of the whole season for me. I can't get over that. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Okay, but let me see if I can round out my point before we move on here. So I want to say the Galvan point kind of distracted me for a moment.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But it's serious. I mean, also again with Cap, I think Cap, if anyone, might be actually going to justify that because again, he saved the world various times. He's crippled Hydra twice. He's a war hero. I'm saying Cap he's the gleaming representation of kind of. The guy you want kind of making these decisions, and the guy who's going to kind of weigh out things. Again, without him, you don't figure out that Hydra's secretly in S.H.I.E.L.D. So I think if there's going to be a guy, he would be the government guy to be working with the president.
Sure.
But again, he'd be getting the okay. He'd be giving his thoughts in that matter. But again, if he's kind of stymied by listening to being told by bosses what to do, then none of that gets done. It's just going to be more red tape that Cap's eventually have to break those rules. They're all going to have to break rules in the grand scheme if they are kind of told like they can or cannot do things.
And I mean, like I said, I honestly did not know that Tony was arguing for complete full control. I just kind of thought, like, yeah, we need to be kept in check a little bit, you
Well,
know.
all I'm saying is that in the comic it was full control, and I'm not saying it's going to be exactly like that in the movie. I'm saying I'm getting that impression. I'm not really getting like a certain there's a million. It might start off that way, then get a little more complete. We can only wait and see at this point. We don't know.
Okay.
So, but you might be right on that. I don't know.
And basically, I mean, I'm kind of what I'm getting at. It's like I think this is actually a really good time for this movie to come out. Is like a month after Batman versus Superman, because oh my god, the DC universe has just made me like sour on Superman so much, and I just basically think Superman's a bastard at this point.
I saw the How It Should Have Ended Batman v Superman today.
That was really good.
I tell you though, it's just the ending does make me say, my two favorite characters are on screen together, and Deadpool has the upper hand on Batman.
right.
And just there's this really sad line at the end of How It Should End, where you're just saying, "Oh, this one isn't going to go away for a while." Like, oh no, Batman, it's not. No, he did so much. There was so much done right with that, and what is the one huge element done wrong?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is, like, I don't know. They, like, DC is just completely reckless with their whole destruction thing. So it's like,
you gotta give them some props on that. It's such an uphill battle they're contending with. Marvel literally every time DC, it's always pointing out on Fat Man on Batman, by the way, that every time DC just makes a little inch towards progress. It's like, hey, we're doing this. We got this. Then Marvel, if not, again, it's the friendly competition from the old days, but now just much more crueler and brutaler in a way. Is that just like they outclass them in such a painful way? It's like, well, we have something similar, but 10 times better with all this context behind it.
Right, exactly. It
was like literally, they hit Batman Superman with an unbeatable sandwich. They came out before with Daredevil on Netflix, and then after it they have Civil War on the horizon. And both of these, by the way, are about heroes fighting each other, but done much better.
Oh yeah.
No. Daredevil's not exactly about heroes fighting each other. I'm saying that is an issue in the show.
Right.
Yeah, but it's more, again, it's less physical fighting. It's more kind of moral fighting, which is awesome.
Nelson v. Murdoch.
Nelson v. Oh, right.
Anyways.
Okay, so now we've kind of gone over the moral fight. Maybe we should go through what we're physically dealing with. Let's kind of go through the lineup.
And I'm excited about this because I feel like we haven't really talked about, like, oh, who would win in a fight type stuff on this channel. So let's do it.
First, let's just establish who's on whose team. So would you like to go first?
I mean, I don't really have the list, so.
All right. So,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so Iron Man's team.
I mean, I could try, but I don't think I'd be able to get everyone. But go ahead.
So Iron Man's team obviously has Iron Man on it. So we got Tony Stark, and then that corner, the leading the team. Following that, we got War Machine. No surprise there. His right-hand man, Rhodey. James Rhodes, good war hero. He's got some good stats. You basically have 2 Iron Man suits at your disposal. That's nothing to trifle with. You have Black Widow, who is no such. I'm still surprised. I've avoided spoilers, so I don't know why she's on Iron Man's side. I'm sure but we're going to get a reason for that in the movie, I hope.
Right.
Yeah, because again, we know she's really tight with Steve Rogers after Winter Soldier. He's raises an eyebrow. I could have sworn going into this movie that before they revealed what the lineup was way back.
And she was with Steve Rogers during all the Bucky stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Winter Soldier, she was with, she's really tight with Captain America. So I was thinking that she was going to be on his side and be like an unbeatable, awesome Cap team on there. So, but no, I think she might be one of the risk. I think on both of these teams you have risk of people jumping sides.
Okay.
And Black Widow might be one of those. At the very least, I think she's going to be the most impartial of them, because there's a bit in the trailer where she's like telling Iron Man, "You better be ready," because she knows not to trifle with Captain America.
Sure.
So again, I think she's going to be kind of the secret leak on the team of, like, she'll warn Captain America what Iron Man's got planned.
Okay, I like that.
So we got in hopes that she can maybe kind of be like the mediator between the situation. Right. I think, again, she's a spy. She can play double agent. I think she's definitely apt for that role. So we'll see what's going on there. And again, remember, the first time she met Tony Stark, she did that. She was playing double agent.
Of course.
I think it's very appropriate. So again, Iron Man's team, we got Tony, we got War Machine, we got Black Widow, we have Spider-Man.
Cool. Oh yeah.
Excellent. So again, right off the bat, we know all the kids are going to be an Iron Man, so we know that without question.
Because Iron Man's a cool kid. You know, no one wants to hang out with a Boy Scout, you know?
No, I mean, all the kids are going to clamor to his side because they have Spider-Man. That's why. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
So again, we have those guys. We have Vision, who's the big powerhouse of the team. Vision
yeah,
is
we'll
not
get to that. We'll get to that, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, we got Black Panther.
Here, go ahead.
We got Black Panther, who also might be a side switcher.
And
again, we're getting a very iconic thing in the trailers, at least, of Black Panther going up against Captain America, which is how they first met in the comics. Where Captain America has been called way back in the '40s to Wakanda, and he fights Black Panther.
Right.
Really cool little thing there. Again, the vibranium shield versus vibranium claws.
That's cool. That's cool.
Remember, there's no Captain America shield without the Black Panther, and he's finally there. And also, just to kind of round it out, just to make sure, it's kind of an even lineup if I include this guy. We know it's pretty safe bet he's going to be on Iron Man's side in the trail. I'm saying General Ross is on Iron Man's side.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to be able to use him in a who would win in a fight, though.
Well, I'm just saying he kind of voices because remember, we don't exactly have Shield in the comics. We had Shield as the military force going against on Iron Man's side. So here I'm thinking it's going to be Ross, and I'm not listing him on the fight specifically. I'm just saying he's on the team of Iron Man. He's on Team Iron Man.
Yeah, I hear you. I definitely think that's the case.
So that's all Team Iron Man. So again, quick recap. That's Tony, War Machine, Spider-Man, Black Widow, Vision, Black Panther, and General Ross.
I have Vision on my team. I win.
Well, I will agree with you on one thing. Iron Man has the most powerful team. He does, unequivocally. Unequivocally, most powerful team. I will argue my team is the coolest team.
Okay, fair enough.
Again, I'll admit, Spider-Man is the coolest member.
And Black Panther.
Okay, I'll admit Iron Man has got two new cool characters on his team. Good for him. I'm telling you, my team is the most awesome lineup in terms of cool characters. So Captain America, obviously. Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier. Again, we saw essentially the Darth Vader of the Marvel Universe. It's the coolest, take charge kind of guy. We saw Unstoppable. He was in Winter Soldier. He's not to be trifled with. The guy who feasibly, judging from the trailers purely, can take down an Iron Man suit.
Mm-hmm.
Falcon, who, do I even have to say it? Falcon. Come on.
No, Falcon's pretty damn awesome. I'll admit it.
Exactly. I mean, Anthony Mackie is just, again, it's like he's Fonzie for the next generation. He is.
Oh God.
Yeah, seriously, he's Marvel's Fonzie.
I wouldn't go that far.
There's
a lot of people that could be Fonzie. I'm not going to.
Yeah, Joe Manganiello. Sorry, I forgot about Joe Manganiello.
That's what I'm saying. Okay,
let me localize it. He is the Fonzie of the Marvel Universe.
That I will agree with. I think I can agree with that. Yeah.
Falcon is Fonzie of the Marvel Universe with giant eagle wings. Giant falcon wings, you know what I mean. Anyway, so then we have even cooler than that. How can you get cooler than Falcon? I'll tell you how. Someone would beat Falcon in a fight. Ant-Man.
Yeah, and I've heard Ant-Man's pretty awesome too in this movie.
Yes, I'm so looking forward to Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my top 5 Marvel films.
I'm curious to see how they're even going to work Ant-Man into the movie. That's one of the things I'm kind of excited to see, and I'm not spoiled about it all. So,
well, I got a good feeling that we know Falcon knows a guy to help get Bucky out of something, and we know it's going to be Ant-Man.
Falcon does technically know him. Okay, good.
So Falcon has this relationship with Ant-Man going forward, and it sounds kind of cool. And Ant-Man's just such a cool guy, and the guy who can shrink. And again, Ant-Man has always some great potential that eventually going to go with some other personas he's had in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, Scott Lang, Ant-Man, really cool. Paul Rudd, always a pleasure. I'm the Ant-Man, one of my top 5. Again, at the moment, until this movie comes out, and I don't have to worry about re-ranking things, Ant-Man is in my top 5. It's like Ant-Man is number 5. Number 4 is Age of Ultron. Number 3 is the First Avengers. Number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 1 is Winter Soldier. That's my ranking.
When you said the first Avenger, I thought you meant Captain America.
No, I mean the first Avenger. Sorry, not the first.
I would not put Captain America the first Avenger over Age of Ultron or under Age of Ultron.
No, I'm saying the first Avengers, not first Avenger. Avengers 1 over.
I'm sorry, I got all confused. Anyways,
so again, so we got Ant-Man. We also got Hawkeye. So nice dosage of Hawkeye. A lot of bows and arrows, really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Then again, it makes sense that he would team with Captain America. But then again, you're thinking Black Widow is a cinch for Cap. I know you're thinking. But Hawkeye is definitely morally is with Cap. I think we get a good sense of that.
Mm-hmm.
Got Sharon Carter, the niece of Peggy Carter, also potential love interest for Cap. We don't know. The point is, we got a really.
I kind of like. I don't know. I still think there's something a little, just a tiny bit creepy about that.
I had to deal with the creepiest relationship in Batman the animated series, in New Adventures of Batman. You know what it was?
What?
I as a kid, it didn't dawn on me until Batman Beyond. They definitely reference the fact that in that series that there was a relationship going on that sounds very creepy. It's Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon were a thing.
Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon.
Yeah,
like Batgirl Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, Batgirl.
Oh dear God.
You can imagine to my specifically my years later, as being the big Jim Gordon fan I am, how unsettling that still is to me.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's his friend's daughter.
Hey, if they make a Batman Beyond movie, they need to work that plot line.
Anyway, so also now here's the big powerhouse. Again, we have Winter Soldier as a big powerhouse in Cap's side. Here's the other huge, genuine powerhouse. We got Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, she's definitely the powerhouse. However, I'd wager to say she's probably the least cool character on your team.
Let me say, no, Scarlet Witch is cool. Nothing wrong with her.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with her. I just kind of feel like she's just kind of there at the moment.
I mean, compared to the other ones, I'll admit, not as cool.
Yeah.
But seriously, though, I mean, she's cool, though.
She's okay.
Yeah, nothing wrong with her. But seriously, though, seriously, Scarlet Witch, she's a powerhouse, and she's the only one that could contend with the Vision. Because, again, also, I wonder how they're going to go with this. In the comics, these two are romantically linked, and we have a little reference to that in Age of Ultron. I'm just wondering, they said they're not going to go instant romance. I'm just wondering if they're going to build upon that in the movie.
I think we're definitely going to see like some chemistry between them for sure.
I would love that because we love Jarvis and we love Vision by proxy.
Maybe like a little tiny Romeo and Juliet thing happening.
That would be awesome if they go that way. We'll see it. We'll see, because again, right now the idea is I hear just in interviews that they're going with that. They're definitely connected because remember they both got their powers from the same thing, so they definitely have that connection. But again, why they're equally a powerhouse. They both got their powers from the Infinity Gem. So those are our sides. Again, my team's cooler. Your team's more powerful.
All right.
Let me gauge the powerhouse real quick here. So again, I'm sorry. Let's move on to the next segment. That's where we're going to go through who would win. Okay, so let's see. Here's what we're dealing with. So Winter Soldier again has the capability to take out an Iron Man suit. We got two guys in Iron Man suits.
But it's two guys in Iron Man suits. Does he have the capacity to take out two guys?
It's fair, but also we have Captain America with unbreakable shield, and there was a moment in the comic. I'm not saying they're going to do this in the movie. I would love it if they did this in the movie, but where Captain America has Iron towards the end of the story, where he's bashing Iron Man's helmet and he's cracking it open with the shield.
Oh, that would be pretty damn cool. I will admit that would be pretty damn cool.
The unbreakable shield breaking the armor. My God! And of course, there's a bit in the trailer where we see the two of them double teaming Iron Man.
Of course, like straight out of like Marvel versus Capcom or something. Like
yes, they're playing frisbee with Iron Man.
Right.
Okay, but seriously, so I'm just saying, Winter Soldier has capacity to take out an Iron Man suit, which is helpful. But again, on Iron Man's side, we got two guys in Iron Man suits.
Exactly. Also, do we know that fucking Rhodey makes it to the final fight?
But we don't know. That's the point. We don't know.
Yeah, but like I mean, in the airport lineup and that shot where they're all going at each other.
No, he's in the airport. Yeah, he's there.
He's there. Okay, I'm pretty sure the airport's going to be like the last fight. So,
we'll see.
Because I'm just saying, we do have that image of Tony, and you know what I'm talking about, where he's like holding Rhodey, and Rhodey looks dead. He looks very dead.
Again, I'm starting to, because of that. I'm thinking again. The armor seems, unless the armor's repaired, I'm getting a sense of that's in the middle.
And keep in mind, I was convinced that Rhodey was going to die in Age of Ultron.
I would really like to think that airport scene's going to be in the middle of the movie, and we haven't even seen the third act.
I don't think.
Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. I'll tell you this. I know what the third act scene's going to be. It's going to be them. It's going to be the two of them facing off against Iron Man. That's the third act.
That's okay. I could see that.
I'm saying airports in the middle, and then third act is going to be purely kind of Cap and Iron Man. And we'll end Bucky there too. Again, he's the central conflict, so he has to be in that scene. Oh my god! No, I had a stupid thought. I'm not going to share it. Anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so point is, let's keep going through our fights here. Let's see. So against Scarlet Witch versus the Vision, they're pretty evenly matched.
I would wager to say that the Vision is a little more powerful, just because he's basically like a god and a robot.
I'll give you that. If I were to bet my money, I would say Vision would definitely win in that fight. I'm saying though, they are kind of
that titanium skin, for fuck's sake. I mean, or whatever the hell material he's made out of.
You're right about that, but remember, Scarlet Witch ripped through Ultron's armor. No problem.
Okay, good point. Good point.
And there's a bit in the trailer. Now, again, can't really go on from the trailer. I'm just pointing it out, just so you know, kind of power levels what we're dealing with here. We did see she had him at a disadvantage. She was like holding him down with the red witchy powers.
Right, right.
So I'm just saying, let's not counteract.
I'm thinking he'll have more stamina than she does. Like, I'm thinking that she'll probably have more power, but he'll be able to take it. If that makes any sense.
No, that's fair. Again, I'm saying Vision will probably win. I'm saying though, let's not counteract like an instant, like she'll be instantly defeated or anything. Like, I think she would definitely hold her own for a long while.
Okay.
So let's see. Well, we're gonna get Black Widow versus Hawkeye. You know that one because they're friends. They're just like, it depends how hard you hit, how much we stay friends.
Oh yeah.
But well, we know Black Widow has won against Hawkeye when he was under mind control. Then again, he was under mind control.
I still think Black Widow has the edge here just because she's so well trained. She's multiversed. I mean, Hawkeye just has the arrow thing going for him. And in Black Widow, she's a killing machine. She can do it all. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And we know Black Widow, after all the things she's going through, she's not going to go for the kill against these guys. I think we know that pretty certainly.
Yeah, and I don't think Hawkeye would fucking kill her either.
Absolutely. Come on.
However, I feel like that kind of puts Black Widow at an advantage in a fight because I feel like Hawkeye's arrows are kind of a more lethal weapon, whereas Black Widow knows a lot of techniques that would weaken an enemy but not necessarily kill them.
Well, remember, he has non-lethal weapons.
He has non-lethal weapons? Okay.
Well, remember, he shot the crap out of Scarlet Witch. He's got multi-purpose arrows.
Right, okay. But I don't know. I still think it'd be kind of like... I just think Black Widow would be more at an advantage when it comes to not necessarily seriously harming him, but just disarming him in a way. So
let's see. I think Black Panther's going to win the first time against Cap, but Cap's definitely going to win every time after that. No problem.
I definitely. Yeah, I don't know. You never know though. I mean, there is the whole are they going to go through with the comic thing looming?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Black Panther would be the one to kill him off. I'm just saying I don't necessarily think that Captain America is invincible in this movie.
True, but I'm saying though, I think Cap. I'm saying the original encounter is the idea is Black Panther wins in the first place when they first meet. So that's kind of set in stone. We know that's kind of on the horizon again. Cap's coming up with an unexpected component with vibranium at his disposal.
Holy crap! What the hell?
Yes, I mean, Black Panther right on the outset. You're going to lose. Wakanda. But again, I'm thinking Cap after he faces this guy once, he's going to be. And we saw how invincible he was in Winter Soldier. I think he'll do it fine against Black Panther on a second encounter. Again, first match, it's set in stone. Black Panther's going to win.
Okay.
How about this? Black Panther versus Winter Soldier.
Black Panther. Ooh.
We know that's going to be a big deal because we don't know if it's going to, because Black Panther is a lineage character, so we know he took the mantle over from his father. We know that much.
Right. I like how Marvel's doing that, by the way. I think that's really smart of them.
Yeah, we have
theories. DC's going to pick that up with the Green Lantern movie, actually.
Well, no, they just announced something recently. It's nothing confirming that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just hoping they do it right. Anyways. I'm sorry, where were we?
Winter Soldier versus Black Panther.
Right.
We know there's still going to be a grudge there, and whether it's going to be Panther is just he's upset about what happened in Age of Ultron to Wakanda or the neighboring place of Wakanda, whichever it was. Mm-hmm. And you remember Black Panther is a speaker of the at the UN. He's one of the diplomats, I guess. He's an ambassador of Wakanda. I think if that's sorry, I don't really know how the UN works. Sorry. Yes, just what I've seen in the media. Regardless,
it's all good.
Yeah, so whether it's like he's upset about maybe him doing something to his father, or just Black Panther himself at the meeting, because the shot goes by really fast, we don't know exactly if it's Panther or his father at that meeting. So, regardless, Black Panther, we can tell he wants Winter Soldier back. He's chasing him down that path, and I don't know, Winter Soldier. He's got. We don't know at that point if he's Bucky Barnes or if he's a Winter Soldier at that point.
Sure.
Winter Soldier is going to kill Black Panther, but if it's Bucky Barnes,
exactly,
without question, the Winter Soldier will rip Black Panther's arm off and beat him to death. That's the Winter Soldier.
Like, I'm not taking any of this Wakanda shit.
So my God, there's no winning. Unless you're Captain America, there's no winning against the Winter Soldier.
I'll agree with that.
But again, if it's Bucky Barnes, again, it looks like I think it's going to be Bucky Barnes when he's going up against Black Panther. By the way, because I think he's running, he's trying to be defensive. Otherwise, Winter Soldier would take him out. That's what I'm thinking. I think Black Panther is going to have the upper hand in that fight.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Ant-Man, untapped area of Ant-Man. Who do you think he's going to be going up against?
Oh, that's a good question. Who on Iron Man's team have we not gotten to yet?
Well, Spider-Man.
You think we're going to have Ant-Man versus... That would be awesome. Battle of the Insects.
Yes. Well, let me throw this at you. We do know one thing. We know we're going to get an awesome shot of Hawkeye doing the thing everyone's wanted him to do. It's from the comics. It's just from many things. Just Ant-Man being launched on an arrow to somewhere.
Okay, you know what I'm picturing now? I'm picturing like Spider-Man shooting the web and then Hawkeye being... Or, I'm sorry, Ant-Man being stuck on the web.
You know, it'd be really cool if because we see in the trailer he's being launched onto Iron Man's arm.
Right.
It'd be so cool if somehow, I don't know how they shoot it, but if Ant-Man pulls does what he did to Falcon, if he can go inside Iron Man's arm, we see it for the first time ever. We see the perspective shot of we've seen the HUD, we've seen the helmet of Robert Downey Jr. inside the Iron Man helmet.
And then we see Ant-Man in it. Oh, that'd be great.
Like Ant-Man punching awesome. Iron Man from the inside of the helmet or something, you know?
Oh, I want to see that.
And then, like, jumping out of the eye hole, I don't know. And like, then the rest of the fight, that's how you get your obligatory Downey Jr. out of the helmet for the rest of the fight because he broke through the eye hole or something. I don't know. Right. Oh, that'd be cool. I'd love to see that. But regardless, Ant-Man vs. Spider-Man would be, I want them to acknowledge the battle of the insects going on there because that would be awesome. But Spider-Man versus Cap.
Oh, I think Cap's got that. I mean, that's not a question. I think Cap's gonna kick Spider-Man's ass.
Yeah, true. Remember, Spider-Man's awfully strong. I mean, they're both really strong, Cap and Spider-Man. They have essentially kind of the same deal, only Cap has much more training.
Cap has a lot more training, of course, but I also do think, I mean, in terms of just legit super strength, I mean, look, I know Spider-Man's strong. I know that the fucking spider, it may, give him super strength, but it's Captain America. I mean, we've seen this man, like, go through walls when he's just trying to run and turn a corner. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, it's like literally people have been ranking for years, like, kind of how the super strength goes in the movies. Hulk is the pinnacle, then you have Cap in there. Then I think Spider-Man's like either third or fourth on that. I don't remember if Wolverine's above Spider-Man or not. The point
I would think Deadpool would be above Spider-Man.
Well, I'm saying that was like the general thing before Deadpool was as well known as he was today. I'm just saying.
Right. I hear you.
I would, I'm not talking about healing factors. Just oddly enough, all those characters are still in the healing factor because Spider-Man and Captain America do have a slight healing factor. You got to remember that. Mm-hmm. It's very slight, though. It's basically what would take them weeks or months to heal from. It might take them a few days. So I'm saying if it's like a month-long injury, it might take Spider-Man 2
weeks. Like they'd be nursing that gross baby arm for like 9 months. It's like a legit baby at that point.
It's like dismemberment doesn't exactly work the same way for them either. It's like
exactly, yeah.
Deathstroke in the DC universe. If you can stab him and you can shoot him all you want, he'll heal from it. But if you cut off if you cut off an arm or something, it'll be stuck like that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Falcon. We haven't really touched on Falcon at all. So you think Falcon versus Spider-Man would be kind of cool. Him
that would be cool because it'd be kind of like, Spider-Man does have like the aerial acrobatics going on.
Yeah.
Falcon can fly.
And it would be a great precursor to.
Mm-hmm.
Be a great
Green
precursor.
Goblin?
No, the Vulture.
Oh, Vulture. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Be
my
a
God.
great
Yeah.
precursor to Vulture. Oh my God, you know, it'd be awesome. I just thought of this now. If they do go with Vulture again, unfortunately, no Michael Keaton in talks anymore. But if they went with Vulture,
I know. That makes me sad.
if they went with Vulture, I mean, maybe it's the founder that's tying him up. I didn't think of that. Maybe that was why. I don't know. I think it's already shot, so that's probably not the issue. Anyway, gross.
Maybe it's what?
I was thinking it might be the founder. That's what he was doing, and maybe
No,
that's
I'm
why.
sure that was
I,
shot.
then
The
I
Founder.
then I
Don't
stopped.
get
That.
me wrong. I am psyched out of my mind for the Founder. I'm more excited for the Founder than I am for this movie. I'll say that.
What? How are you more excited? I'm excited
Because
for the
I
Founder.
enjoy like Oscar baity performance pieces more than I enjoy superhero movies. That's just the type of moviegoer I am. I like human drama, and I like, but we're not here to debate about that.
Anyway,
I just think the Founder looks fucking amazing.
Chris, what if you know, be a cool idea? What if Adrian Toomes' company is the one that built the Falcon wings?
I'm sorry, I don't even. Who is Adrian Toomes again?
The Vulture. What if the Vulture, who's a
okay.
businessman, developed the wings that Falcon uses, and that's them connecting the Marvel universe?
I could definitely see that.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I never thought of that until this moment. Spider-Man fighting a guy.
I would actually, now that you bring that up, I'd be surprised if they didn't work that in.
Because I'm saying, if you have Iron Man showing up in a Spider-Man movie, why not connect them? Again, pretty much it's Marvel's just doing all the legwork, and Sony's releasing.
Especially if Vulture is going to be the main villain in Homecoming, that's been rumored,
which would be cool.
It would be cool. Vulture is definitely one of those villains.
For me, I want if not Vulture, I want Scorpion. It's one of those two guys.
You see, I don't really give a shit about Scorpion. I think Scorpion is kind of like a lamer Doc Ock.
I'll tell you why Scorpion's cool. I'm not saying they need to do this in the movie. I'm saying, remember Scorpion? J. Jonah Jameson created Scorpion.
That's true. That's true.
He paid a guy to tail Peter Parker because he was suspicious about how's this guy getting pictures of Spider-Man, and eventually Jameson kind of sets this guy up with the scientist, the one that created the Green Goblin. And I'm just saying in the movie, in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, the guy that created the Green Goblin was named Stillwell. That scientist, he's the one who basically made a Spider-Man of his own in the Scorpion to fight Spider-Man.
Well, all I'm saying is that I eventually want to see Mysterio, and I eventually want to see Bruce.
Oh yeah.
I want to see Bruce Campbell as Mysterio.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think the top 3 Spider-Man villain contenders, they're going to be Mysterio, Vulture, and well, for me, I'm just throwing Scorpion there because I don't see why not. Point is, but I think Mysterio.
Also, they need to do Venom right at some point. At some point, they need to do Venom right.
There's talk because Deadpool went over so well. There's talk of that Venom spinoff now.
Yeah, but I don't want Venom as the hero, though. I want Venom as the villain.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We saw Deadpool not exactly as a hero. Remember, we saw him as quite the opposite. They could do that.
It's not the same thing. It's not.
I know it's not. Thing. It's not the same. I'm saying you could have a protagonist.
Deadpool was kind of like the reluctant hero who wasn't really the hero, but he did have heroic traits.
But I'm saying it definitely opened to a movie that has a protagonist that is like you think the conventional superhero, you're going to be sold by that, but no, he is far from that. And maybe that opens the door to.
Okay, look, we could have like a legit debate about a Venom movie, but no, I mean, if they're going to do a Venom movie, I mean, it's the MCU, it's Disney. It's like, how dark could they really even go with it if he's supposed to be the hero?
Yeah, it's fair.
Anyways.
Anyway,
so where were we? Oh my God.
Well, we were going through we kind of ended on Falcon. Any other matches between Sharon Carter versus Black Widow? That'd be awesome. I want to see that.
Yeah, but
it's obvious Black Widow win, but still Sharon Carter.
She would fucking kick her ass. Oh my God!
You gotta remember though,
destroy her.
She has Agent Carter genes. You know, it'd be great from this fight. You know, it'd be awesome. We have descendants of Peggy Carter and descendant in some way of Dottie Underwood.
Oh God!
Think about it. We have someone who was in the Red Room.
And not to discredit Agent Carter, but I'm not sure there's too many people in the theater who'd be like, "Oh my God, Underwood versus."
I'm saying that's just for the deep cuts Marvel fans, especially of the cinematics of just kind of knowing that. Oh my God, it's like she's a member of the Red Room, so in some way she is a descendant of Dottie. You know, in some ways one of the Red Room trainees.
Not looking good for Agent Carter season 3.
Can we not talk about
not
that?
Looking
please?
good?
Can we?
Looking good.
Do you have to bum me out? We're trying to celebrate here.
I'm sorry.
Can you not crush me emotionally here.
How's it looking for Gallivant? Is Gallivant looking any better?
Why do you keep bringing up these uncertain, dark topics? Stop it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Why don't you ask about the Muppets next? Why don't you just make us all
that just kind of hurt my heart a little bit.
How do you feel now? That's how I feel.
Oh God. Okay, fair enough.
Anyway.
We have about 15 minutes left, by the way, and then
great. Okay, well, we're almost done, which is fine.
Okay. Oh God. Jeez.
Anyway, so
man, you really didn't want to hear about Carter getting killed.
No, I didn't. Anyway, so Sharon Carter, again, we have a Carter versus someone from the Red Room, kind of like Dottie versus, it's kind of an age-old rematch. Seriously, could be cool. I'm just saying that'd be a matchup I would like to see. Again, Black
cool. I'm just saying, like you said, it'd be cool for like the deep-cut Marvel fanboys who actually watch Agent Carter. So,
but also, you gotta remember, Sharon Carter, again, I'm not, if they ever do the verbatim, again, if there's ever like I don't know, again, we don't know how far they're going to go because Sharon Carter is tied into the death of Captain America. We don't know.
Sure.
You want me to tell you what she does or no?
Yeah, fuck it. I don't care. Spoiler alert if you haven't read the comics.
Again, folks, I really hope the movie does. A part of me hopes the movie doesn't do this because then we just spoiled everything for everyone. But point, seriously, this is in the comics, so it's been out for years. So here you go. The way Captain America died, and again, we have this villain in this movie too, Crossbones.
Yeah, but like, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but he's like the worst part of the movie by far from everyone's point of view, from what I've heard of the reviews.
What?
Yeah.
No, not Cross. No.
Yeah, I've heard that he's kind of like just another in a long line of mediocre Marvel villains at this point.
Oh, why would you tell me that?
I shouldn't have told you that. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm just being a jerk.
Anyway, so
I didn't realize you meant that much to you. I'm
just saying. Okay, it's not.
Everyone says the movie's fucking awesome. That's like everyone says it's like a very, very, very minor problem, but it's there. He's not that great of a villain. So
well, look, he's not supposed to have a. Anyway, let's not talk about that.
I'm so sorry. I feel really bad. I could tell you're like you're really sad right now. I'm so sorry.
Anyway, the death in the comics is that Dr. Faustus, who we've seen in Agent Carter,
right?
Dr. Faustus, under the Red Skull's instructions, hypnotizes Sharon Carter. So when Captain America's after he's been arrested after the Civil War, he's being led to trial. Crossbones from a distance shoots him to make it look like an assassination by Crossbones. Shoots him in the shoulder, and in the chaos, Sharon Carter, under mind control, shoots Captain America 3 times in the stomach.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God.
And then he dies.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't go for that in the movie. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm amazed if they went for that. You think, oh my God, either they did it so well that everyone's still on board for it, or it's not in there.
I assume that didn't go over too well when it first happened in the comic community.
Well, no, they kind of play a bit of a mystery because you didn't find out immediately it was her. You found out that later on. So you thought it was kind of examinations at that point. Let's get back on that here. Point is, Sharon Carter being in there is a cool thing. And also, Crossbones in there is a cool idea. Regardless, even if he's not the most impressive, I hope they don't kill him off like they do with the various Marvel villains. And again, he looks really awesome, so they could bring him back.
I don't have any sort of spoilers when it comes to that. So
well, that's good. Anyway, so yeah, we get to see. I'm sure Cap's gonna have some tough words for General Ross.
Oh yeah.
There's a fight.
Tough words.
Ant-Man might.
That's the face off.
Ant-Man might make a funny in front of him. That might be.
Oh God.
General Ross just gives him a look of like, "Why are you here? Just underline me." Anyway, so let's real quick. Just want to go through just kind of like just the last kind of additional hype from the movie.
Okay.
Just going to take us out here before we get into our final thoughts here. I just want to say, here is just what we have to look forward to in this movie, opposed to the comic. Here, it's just like some of this movie is doing right. That is, getting me much more excited than again. The comic wasn't the best of things, Deke. Let's make that clear.
I know that.
The comic was a big. It was a huge event. Huge event of the day. You have your
I think it was an awesome idea for a story.
Yeah.
I remember the selling point. I remember even my dad was like, "Hey, did you hear about the comic book? Like, apparently, Iron Man is on the side of the government, and Captain America is not on the side of the government. What? You
Yeah,
know?
and actually, there's a video game that was released that adapted Civil War, so that was kind of the barometer measure this by too. It's
Video game. I don't remember that.
on some level. I mean, it's not exactly what
Was
the
it
measure is.
that weird oh god. Well, tell me, what was the name of
It
it?
was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, not the first one. The
Ultimate.
first one,
Okay, I'm not. It's not the same thing I'm thinking of. I'm
they're
thinking of
both.
some weird fighting game that came out. Okay.
Seriously, Ultimate Alliance, the first one's fantastic. The second one, don't get me wrong, it's more. They're going more cinematic with it, which is not. It has Deadpool in it, which is also good.
I've also heard the X-Men Legends games are really good.
Well, that one of those is when Deadpool's first introduced in video game form.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
And again, the video game Deadpool's really cool too.
Oh yeah.
Regardless, what was I saying? Yeah. Anyway, so the point is, I'm saying that was kind of the barometer we have Civil War kind of in animation, in video game animation, before this movie, and there was kind of a straight adaptation from the comic, which is really impressive at various points. Point is though, comic, huge event, and here's what the movie seems to be doing a lot, making a lot more interesting than the comic faltered at. I just want to highlight that real quick, just kind of show you what why this movie's probably infinitely better than the comic.
Go ahead.
There's, as you said, in the gray area with Bucky, there's a much more even debate than in the comic, because in the comic it boiled down to Iron Man, Iron Man being the bad guy, which again, Iron Man didn't,
right.
And the reason for that is that Iron Man wasn't exactly as, I'm not saying he was like a bad character or anything, but he didn't have the utter charm and personality Robert Downey Jr. did in the comics. That was all Downey Jr.
I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree with that to some extent, because I was an Iron Man fan before the Avengers came out, and like I do think that Robert Downey Jr. was like the perfect casting. Like you could not have cast anyone better for him. I think Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark in a lot of ways. I think he's lived the Tony Stark life in a lot of ways before he even was Tony Stark. So I don't know.
I'm saying that
to me, Robert Downey Jr. and the character of Tony Stark are kind of one and the same. But I'm sorry, I'm derailing your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that I'm saying before, that's another thing this movie's done so well, is that you have a much more likable Iron Man than you spent a lot of movies getting to know at this point.
I hear you.
With that, I'm saying the Iron Man in the comics is like it just seemed like, okay, we know Iron Man, nothing wrong. That guy's in school, he's got these iron suits, he fights crime, that's cool. And now all of a sudden he's kind of making some bad political moves. So basically, there was nothing to kind of make you think, "Oh no, Tony, don't make that decision." Again, Tony Stark wasn't exactly; it was just more kind of like cool spectacle over. Like we really like this guy. This guy's entertaining. This guy's funny.
Not being entertaining and funny. I mean, we've literally seen him go from, and this is kind of piggybacking off of your point, BlueDragonFive. Think about it. Think about how the MCU started. We went from Tony Stark being completely distrustful of the government, completely on the anti-side of the government in Iron Man 2. We saw Captain America being a loyal soldier to the government in the first Avenger, and now we're here. And we're here because of the writing, and we're here because the characters have evolved so much, and it feels like it's a natural progression.
Yes. It's again, just in the count. I'm not saying Iron Man had to be funny. I'm just saying, Iron Man just didn't exactly have the stay power that he does now.
Oh no, I'll agree. I mean, I like the character before that. I mean, look, the thing that kind of intrigued me about the Tony Stark character before the movie came out was definitely kind of like the alcohol. I'm not saying the alcoholism was the only thing that kind of intrigued me, but the
point is Iron Man had demons, but he also had some good technology.
Exactly, and I do think that was an interesting thing about the character before Robert Downey Jr. came along, and then Robert Downey Jr. came along, and it was such perfect casting that it was like a lightning in a bottle. And I know what you're saying. It definitely like propelled him into like A-list Marvel status, undoubtedly,
Yep. And again, fun fact, you don't have, this is the really weird, obscure fun fact, but you don't have the Marvel Cinematic Universe without the director of Deadpool. I kid you not, because the thing that expressed a lot of interest in the thing that expressed a lot of interest in Iron Man was this short that Tim Miller did. He has a visual effects studio, which Blur Studios, I want to say that's what it's called. I could be getting that completely wrong. He did the animate. You've seen this on YouTube, I'm sure. It's been there for years. It's still on there today. I think it's Spider-Man teaming up with Iron Man and the Hulk, and this is Iron Man again before the movies. And what you have there is it was a CG creation. It was basically they're fighting a giant robot, and Spider-Man, he calls Tony Stark for help, and then the Hulk shows up, and it's really cool. And using the effects just really it developed a lot of popularity for Iron Man, which then showed them, and we might have some potential with Iron Man there, which got them back to putting Iron Man as the first Marvel movie. I'm just saying Tim Miller was important. I'm not saying it's like purely on it, because Favreau is purely on Favreau.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Point is,
and now kind of like the future of the Disney remake universe going forward is kind of like on Favreau's shoulders in a way.
I'm champion from Aladdin. I've had more ideas since we talked about it last. I think you're gonna like.
Dude, I've been championing for Aladdin for years before remaking Disney movies was even a thing.
Okay, regardless, the last couple of things is really quick. Just again, the debate. What I'm getting at the whole Iron Man thing is that Iron Man's big mistake, his big folly, was that the moment he turned to a bad guy was quite literally when he hired bad guys. He put these nanites in bad guys and basically tried to use them as because Iron Man he cloned Thor, and Thor killed someone in the Civil War. And it was really bad. It was real underhand because again, Iron Man made a clone of someone without their knowledge, and it was after Thor was taken out of the equation for a while. Regardless, point is, Iron Man showing he's kind of has some Batman contingencies, which on Iron Man didn't really fit well. He then basically, because the sides were shifting as they did constantly in Civil War, and people went the Cap side, people went the Iron Man side. When that happened, then because Iron Man's lacking people, he wants the advantage, so he takes all the bad guys in prison, but he gives them these nanites to force them into being on his side, give him numbers over Captain America. But again, he has killers that are killers. He's got Bullseye, he's got the Venom, he's got Venom, he's got all sorts of others.
Sure.
So the point is, that's when Iron Man kind of crossed the line, was hiring bad guys, and and Maria Hill was also the real bad guy. That's going in this movie. I'm really curious what they're going to do with Maria Hill, if anything, because she had a really important role in the comic, and that was the big reason Maria Hill, of all people, was in the Avengers.
And in all honesty, I think Maria Hill is kind of like the closest thing the MCU has to a red shirt who's still a main character-ish.
No, believe me, she is the farthest thing from red shirt. Again, she's kind of
No. I'm just saying in the context of the MCU, from what we've seen of her so far.
No, she's never really seemed to be in danger in the Marvel movies.
I'm not saying she's in danger. I'm just saying she's entirely forgettable.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
I would go that far.
I like her.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, regardless, Maria Hill, point is, she was, ever since she was introduced in Avengers, like we knew kind of going forward, like, oh man, she's gonna be a big deal whenever they get the Civil War. And unfortunately, in Civil War, she was really she was a really bad character. She was really like, she ushered in the Civil War. Like she instantly told people to shoot at Captain America before the war actually started.
Mm-hmm.
Like she basically wanted the Civil War to happen. The point is, Maria Hill was the real bad guy of that story, and Tony Stark kind of turned into the bad guy through the story. She made a really one-sided Captain America versus Iron Man and Maria Hill. That's what that story devolved into, which was not good, not an interesting conflict, because again, we know who the guy to root for is. And plus, any Iron Man fans are really ticked off at that, I'm sure.
Of course.
Point is, this movie, on the other hand, we have a very likable Tony Stark, and again, if she shows up or not, we have a likable Maria Hill. I thought she's very likable, and especially Winter Soldier.
I'm not saying she's not likable. I'm just saying she's forgettable. Like, I literally forget that she's there.
But regardless, I'm saying even if those two people who factor in the comic are in this movie, they're going to be a lot more likable, a lot more complex than they were in that comic.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let's see.
Think about it this way: it's like one of the big selling points of this movie from the first trailer was that awesome line from from Tony. It's like Captain's like, "Oh, I thought we were friends," and Tony's like, "So did I." And I think that's I think that's almost, it's not the money shot of the trailer, but it's definitely one of the big iconic things from the trailer so far. You know what I mean?
The last couple of things here is just, that we've had just the proof Tony's point in this movie is excellent, just showing you how great they're building up our sides here in this movie, just showing how interesting a conflict it is compared to the comic. It's that we have many, many films worth of proof of Tony's point that, things have gotten out of control. Tony has kind of brought about some bad things, all the Stark weapons, and again, we saw the Maximoffs, well, not the Maximoffs, sorry, they are called Maximoffs, and I'm sorry, what the MCU thing is, because again, the rights thing with the Quicksilver and Scarlet, which I forgot what the rights thing is for a moment.
Oh God, I believe that. Well,
I forgot what these specifics were with them, if they call them.
I think the only thing that's very specific about it is the whole fact that Marvel can't reference Magneto.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that Marvel's like not allowed to do.
I remember now. It's like now they are calling. I think they call it Maximoff's in Age of Ultron. So that's the way it goes. So, yeah. Regardless, point is, we've seen like all the. We see Tony's point has been proven already firmly in various Marvel movies. Even Captain America: Winter Soldier, we see definitely things need to be held accountable because again, otherwise you get Shield turning into Hydra.
Sure.
So again, we've accurately seen in time after time Tony's point being proven, which is building up again. We have a lot of Iron Man support in this movie. Same time, we've seen Cap take on the government and win. He's been in exactly the position in this comic in Winter Soldier where he's being pursued by a government force, and he's won. And again, it was so hilarious about Tiki. Captain America won in Winter Soldier with the help of 6 people in Winter Soldier, like he is now. It's Cap and 6 people on his team.
That's true.
So again, think about it. It was Cap, Falcon, and Winter Soldier was Cap, Falcon, Black Widow, Sharon Carter. So it was. We had the Nick Fury, and we had the control room guy who's also in that.
Right.
Yeah, the friendly control room guy. The whole like I'm not gonna Captain's orders. That guy.
Yeah, I hear you.
Point is, with the help of 6 people, he brought down all of Shield / Hydra. How cool is that? So again, we know that Captain America can definitely handle this Civil War situation. So again, we're building things up here, and again, there's no using villains, which is the huge flaw of the book. That's all I really have to say in terms of this of that. But so I'm showing you, it's really we're at a place where it's such a fair. It's fair on both sides. It's fair on both sides, and these 2 guys, like, you don't know who's going to win at this point. Again, going to this movie, I
don't think anyone's going to win. I'm not expecting anyone to win.
I know. It's like, again, there's something to be. I don't know I can't fathom what the resolution's going to be on this because
exactly.
Let me tell you this: in the comics, they never had a good resolution to the Civil War. It's just it stopped randomly.
Oh, that sucks.
It's that basically again the whole the super.
The cool thing about having this movie. It basically at the beginning of phase 3 is that the long-term ramifications are going to be felt throughout at least phase 3 going into Infinity War. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's that the Superhuman Registration Act. They just kind of dropped off because you think there'd be ramifications of like, oh wait, yeah, people. There might have been a reference to it. So it's at some point just randomly stopped of like, okay, well we're not fighting anymore. Okay.
Sounds like another superhero movie where they stopped fighting for weird reasons.
Fine, let me rephrase. When they stopped arresting.
Your mom's name's Martha? No way. That's totally cool. My mom's name's Arthur and Martha. I'm gonna stop exactly what I'm doing, and we're best friends now. I'm Batman. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But it's funny though. It's partially a shame they don't have the rights to the Fantastic Four. Again, after the movie, I'm going to tell you my thoughts and going forward in regards to the Fantastic Four. But that's after the movie.
Okay.
Regardless, though, I will say this: it's kind of a shame that we don't have the Fantastic Four because in the comic, and this really cool idea, we see the jail cells in the trailer for this movie, which I'm thinking third act. Regardless, though, in the comic, it was the negative zone. It's basically this infinite, awesome space in the Marvel Universe. That's where they kept all the heroes in prison. Right. Which was, Reed Richards helped out the Civil War.
Sounds like the Phantom Zone, but all right, I'm with it.
Yeah, it was like a structure. It was structures built within infinite space. I hear you. You know what I mean? It was Planet Zero from the crappy Fan-Four-tastic. That's what it was.
Oh God. It's Fan-Four-stick, by the way.
I just said Fan-Four-stick.
No, you said crappy Fan-Four-tastic. You said Fan-Four-tastic.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Does it really matter, Tiki?
It's Fan-Four-stick. It's Fan-Four-stick. That's what we're going with.
Well, I say it sarcastically. It's Fan-Four-tastic.
Okay, I'll deal with that.
Okay, anyway, so I guess we should share some anecdotes. Just gonna wrap up here.
Yeah, can I go first? Because I can't really be talking all that much. But, folks, I remember when Iron Man came out, and me and my best friend at the time, we saw that movie in the theater like 3 times. And we were big Marvel fans. Neither of us really read the comics, but we knew what Civil War was about. So we were just like, man, Wouldn't it be fucking crazy? Wouldn't it be
Language.
insane? I'm sorry. Wouldn't it be insane if they one day did a Civil War movie? I mean, they hinted at Avengers. They hinted at so. Wouldn't it be just so crazy if one day in our lifetime we saw a Civil War movie? And I thought, for a long time, I thought for sure that if they were gonna do Civil War, that they were gonna do it like after the big Infinity Gauntlet thing. I thought that the Infinity Gauntlet thing was definitely gonna be what they're building towards. But oh my god, I mean that's case in point. It's like I literally thought like, oh my god, if Marvel plays their cards right, maybe like 15 years down the line we'll get Civil War. But no, we're getting this in like less than 10 years. You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy how fast it's come. But it's also crazy just how good the buildup has been and how well equipped they are for this movie to just kick ass and be really good, both as a standalone movie and an individual Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. But yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, Blue Dragon 5. In 2008, I was kind of reminiscing like, oh man, just a Civil War movie at some point. I want to see a Civil War movie in my lifetime, and I'm getting that Civil War movie in my lifetime, and that's awesome. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, let me share a little anecdote, folks. It's so hilarious here to me, at least. So again, way back 2008, we get Iron Man. The end of that movie is I can't remember if it's exactly pulled from Civil War. The point is, it was around Civil War when Tony Stark revealed himself to be Iron Man.
Okay.
Regardless, way back in Iron Man, the ending of that movie was kind of a big deal because people were thinking Civil War with that ending, and just kind of people were thinking, oh my god, we're seeing Iron Man. Iron Man finally worked on the screen, which means sky's the limit. What was literally the biggest story a year before? Because Civil War came out 2007, Iron Man came out 2008. Biggest story at the time on everyone's mind was, hey, we could do Civil War, which means we usher in all the heroes and eventually we get them fighting each other. Again, people always jump to the let's make them fight thing, but again, this movie is going to be. Seems like it's going to be smarter than that, which we're very much hoping for.
I mean, it's funny because Batman versus Superman put the whole D in there, like, oh, it's not a physical fight, it's an ideological fight.
Which unfortunately, it wasn't quite that.
But it wasn't really a physical fight either. But I digress. But
he threw them through things.
Like 8 minutes out of like a 2.5 hour movie. But I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Let me continue with my point then. Okay, so
yeah, I'm sorry.
There's a little story here. So, in 2008, that was the year after Civil War. It's on everyone's minds, like, oh, maybe one day we'll see Civil War. And again, I'm thinking, I read that story. I was thinking, it was still really one-sided fight. And again, I wasn't through with comics Iron Man, but I love movie Iron Man at that point. Because again, this Iron Man I was wanting to get behind. Because otherwise I was really familiar with the Demon in the Bottle story. Just kind of I like a gadget-based hero. So I mean, things that gleam from Iron Man. But again, the movie really completely sold you on Iron Man. Everyone's clamoring for him, going, "Oh my God, it's so fantastic! How does it get better than this?" And again, over the course of the whole cinematic universe, I'm getting more and more sold on Iron Man. Because we get Iron Man, then we get Iron Man 2, then eventually we get First Avenger. And let me tell you this.
I'm sorry, stop calling it First Avenger because it just sounds like Captain America, the First Avenger.
I'm talking about Captain America First Avenger.
Oh, are you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, I need name tags or something for these. So wouldn't help at all. But okay, my point is, we get all these Iron Man films. We get Iron Man 1, and we get Iron Man 2. Then eventually we get Captain America, the First Avenger. And with that movie, we have Captain America. And let me tell you this about my view on Captain America is like I kind of like Captain America in the consensus of everyone else, just kind of liking Captain America. He works good on team stuff, and really as a character on his own, I didn't really have a lot of stock in him. He's like we like Captain America because he's good old fashioned American values. His grandma, his apple pies, all that stuff.
Which the first movie definitely played up, but I think they played it up really well.
I'm just saying, before that movie came out, those were kind of the views on Captain America. It's just he's great on the team. He's the guy. It's his Avengers Assemble. He throws the shield. He's really cool on a team, and you just kind of like him because you have to like him. It's like you like you like the American flag essentially, or whatever your nationality is, depending on where you're from. Regardless. You see what I'm saying though, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that movie came out, and that movie came out, and you kind of changed. Oh my god, there's a lot more to this character than I thought before. We knew the origin. Young skinny kid gets injected with super soldier serum, becomes an action hero essentially. But no, there's a lot more to that. You know, he's this kid who was so driven, this young kid, this skinny kid from the Bronx who's worn nothing. Sorry, not from Brooklyn. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Sorry. This skinny kid from Brooklyn just wants to make a difference. He wants to help. He wants to help the cause, and he does everything in his power to do that. And he's helped out by this kindly German scientist, and he becomes a hero, a fantastic hero. And it's a great emotional. It's a great, not even just emotional. It's such a fun, wholesome ride, because then you get the whole Star Spangled Man thing, you get all that stuff in there, the propaganda scene. It's all that, and then of course it boils.
You know, I love the propaganda stuff in that movie.
And again, the first Captain America movie feels like just classic cinema. And the point is that by that, you know, we have Captain America in there. We get a fantastic Avengers film, which also gives us a really good Captain America in that movie. And that's when I'm starting to really come around. Captain America's like, okay, my interest is piqued by first Avengers Cap, and then we have the Avenger movie with Captain America in there. I'm saying, oh my god! I mean, plus he instantly sold me. He's like, oh my god, he's in the classic costume, which is, again, they had the homage to the classic costume, which was enough. But oh my god, he's in the perfect costume now.
Right.
The costume just got even better and better over time. Don't get me wrong. My point is, you know, Avengers Cap is just, for me, it was perfect. I was just sold completely on Captain America. But oh my god, this guy is so cool. I don't know who I like more again. This great Iron Man. We have this great Captain America. And then Winter Soldier comes by. I'm always still to this day, I'm tearing up at the end of Winter Soldier. It's so beautiful. And the point is, by that point, I'm just completely, I made a realization at that point. I was like, oh my god! I mean, I was so sold on all the Iron Man films and everything. I was thinking way back in the day. Here's what I've been getting, in a long-winded way of saying it, folks. Sorry, it's one of the last things I'm going to say. Believe me on this. Is that way back when we get the first Iron Man movie, I was thinking, oh my god, this is an Iron Man I could root for in a Civil War movie down the line. And then, because again, we were so on Iron, it was so one-sided. It was so Cap over Iron Man. I was thinking, oh man, I could actually root for this Iron Man in a Civil War in a Civil War fight.
Right.
Then years down the line, right before this movie, when Winter Soldier comes out, at the point where I'm realizing, oh my god, I'm more of a Captain America fan than I ever thought I would be. Again, I told you it was a kind of general consensus versus the cinematic Iron Man love I was feeling way back when. It's like, oh my god, I am now 100%. You know, my grandmother adores the cinematic Captain America. It's like, oh my god, I'm so on Team Cap. And I was like, when Civil War is announced, I'm like, oh my god, I'm in the same position as I was with Civil War back when. I'm rooting for Cap.
Oh god.
But again, now we're in a position where it's going to be a much more interesting conflict. So that's my long-winded story.
Okay.
Realization of Civil War. What do you think?
Oh no. But yeah, you're definitely right. It's like, you know, we are in a position, like I said, I can't stress it enough. I really do think that with Iron Man just being so fleshed out in the MCU,
it's a much more even fight than it's ever been.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's cool because with me, I was definitely kind of like a casual fan where it's like, oh, it'd be really cool if this happened eventually. You know what I mean? But
yeah, like we all lost our minds when we saw the Captain America shield in Iron Man.
I was just pleasantly surprised by how quick. Like, I was still surprised. I remember when that whole infamous press conference when they released all the Phase 3 stuff. I was still genuinely. Remember we had Captain America. What was it? The Serpent Society?
Yes. Like you think it's going to be a Hydra thing, and then it's
right.
I mean, look, the Serpent Society is actually something really obscure from Captain America. I'm not saying it's Hydra, but I assume it's lumped in the Hydra. Anyway, yeah, and then the big reveal of the two of them walking out on stage.
Oh yeah.
But let me tell you this. I want to comment on Marvel now. You bring up that press conference. I just want to say something. That's kind of one of my final things I want to say here. Just want to make sure I get it in there. I've said this way back when we were talking about way back when this was announced, way back during that press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we brought it up, I don't remember quite when, but I'm just so impressed that Marvel, when they announced that lineup of Marvel films, we noticed, we talked about, you know, oh my god, Marvel is just upping the ante into uncharted territory with each film. I mean, this film, again, before this, we had Ant-Man, which again we never thought we were going to live to see, because they delayed it so many years.
Of course.
And then And now we're getting this. They're going into phase 3. They're achieving the impossible with every film. Every film is upping the game.
Basically, Black Panther. We're getting Doctor Strange.
Yes, they're going in all. Basically, now they've achieved every. They won us over in phase 1. Phase 2 is just they just blew us out of the water with like all the development and the sequels and everything.
Especially the year that Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy came out. We were talking about that like off air. That was an amazing year for Marvel.
Absolutely, and again, phase 3 is now they have us. They have us by. They have us at this point. Well, they can do anything. They have us. They can do anything at this point. And now they're at the point where
I almost kind of feel like the Godfather right now, because you'll remember for a long time I was kind of like, I wasn't necessarily sour on this movie, but I was kind of like, yeah, kind of seen it before. Then the reviews started coming in, and I feel like the guy, I'm like, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
But you see what I'm saying, though. Now they can achieve everything they've ever wanted to. Now they have so much clout with them now, with all the success of Marvel films. I mean, rarely, even their worst. Like, I'm not saying worst, because I don't think they really made a bad movie. I'm just saying some of them it's got the Pixar diamond thing. It's just like some of them aren't as successful as the others, and they have to go somewhere if you rank them. It's like,
I think at this point, the closest thing to a bad movie would probably be The Incredible Hulk.
That's what I'm saying, and that's not a bad movie. That's what I'm saying.
It's not.
It gets ranked low because they've just blown us out of the water with some of the other things, though. Regardless, I'm saying Civil War seemed like a really hard story to adapt in the cinematic universe, and it seems like they're achieving it in spades, And now we're gonna have Doctor Strange and so on and so forth come out after that, building to Infinity War.
Right.
Which, by the way, I completely. You mentioned it before. I want to say I was completely the same view of thought on you. I thought they were going to do Infinity Gauntlet before they did Civil War too.
Totally.
With you there. Regardless, I'm just saying, Marvel they keep doing the impossible with each of these movies. Again, Marvel's now become they've become Pixar essentially. But just even better track record than Pixar in the consensus. Yeah, in the public view, it's like, oh my God, Marvel can do no wrong, and they're kind of right. Kevin Smith and Mark Bernard, they had this hilarious thing where they say, oh yeah, Marvel farts and it's brilliant, and they're right. They're right. And Marvel can do no wrong at this point.
All right. Well, I need to get to bed, so.
So again, we're really excited for Civil War coming out. It's finally here, folks. It's finally here. They've nicknamed it the Godfather of the Marvel movies. You imagine my excitement at hearing that news. I'm saying Winter Soldier is the Oscar winner of the Marvel movies. We're going into just a film that is so amazing. A film that you would expect there to be some sort of uproar in an ending of whatever they did. Again, a film where anything could happen. We have no idea how this movie's going to end, and we have all these really cool things being introduced. Black Panther, we got Spider-Man, we have some of the coolest heroes, and they made the fight even more fair by taking Hulk and Thor out of the equation, so it's a much more even battle. But again, it's not going to be marketed on a battle. So many cool things going on. How could it fail? Oh my God, it's going to be fantastic.
All right. And I'm just kind of in the corner being like, yeah, I can't wait. Going to be a good movie.
I am so hyped for this movie. I can't.
I'm not as hyped as you are, but that's cool.
I'm saying, look, Deadpool's still going to be my favorite movie this year, but I'm saying Civil War is quite possibly, for my money, going to be the best movie this year.
Okay. So, and on that note, I will go out by just pointing out the man in the corner who is, in fact, playing Galaga. That's all I got. Do you have any sort of ending line to go out on here?
I could do this all day.
All right, there we go. See you later, folks. That man is playing Galaga. Don't think we saw you.